Welcome to another edition of the Bridges Bulletin. Let's get started.
Hello, this is Dyann Bridges. I'm a coach and confidant for men. Today, I want to talk about validation and approval. Now, why is this important? It seems that more and more men have developed an attitude where they feel they need the approval and validation of a woman, especially a woman that they find desirable, before they feel accomplished in their lives. And for men in particular, this is a very dangerous thing. It constantly keeps you off balance. For men, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to get deeper and deeper into your own masculine energy if you're constantly looking for validation and approval from women around you. It's a double-edged sword. You won't get a woman's approval or validation, more than likely, if you seek it. You've got to find a way really not to care whether you have validation or approval from a woman you find desirable. Although, if you are interested in a woman and you do have her approval and validation, well then you know you've got somebody who is supportive of you. I'm coming across more and more men who have worked very hard in their lives to create a great career, a great business. They're smart, they're capable, they're good people. Yet, they're treated with disregard or ignored or overlooked by a lot of women, and they just don't feel appreciated. And if they're doing everything right, if they've created a great career for themselves and they take care of themselves physically and they have a good character, good quality of character, a pleasing personality, what's left? I mean, what more does a woman want? The trouble is, if you're seeking her approval, you're keeping yourself off balance. And as nasty as it seems, a woman's not really going to respect a man like that. She might as a friend or a co-worker, but it gets difficult if she's in a romantic relationship with a man who is seeking her approval, even if he doesn't necessarily say it a lot. You don't have to say, gee, am I doing okay here? Or asking her questions like that. It won't be necessary. She'll pick it up that you're relying too much on her opinion on whether she finds you acceptable or not. So, although it seems callous, and I don't want any man to turn into the stereotypical sort of, lunk-headed guy that just doesn't care about anybody except himself, it is important to become guided by your own inner voice. Keep your own counsel, as they say. And perhaps remove yourself a little bit. If you see disapproval from the women around you or a woman that you're interested in, just notice it. Don't seek it. Don't get ticked off if you don't get it. Just notice that she doesn't seem as appreciative of something about you that you think or you would like to have noticed and acknowledged and appreciated. And then see what happens at that point. Just notice what your inner voice tells you. Perhaps she's just not aware of how much effort you put into something. Maybe she misunderstood something and doesn't understand how hard you worked or how much it takes to accomplish whatever it was that you had set out to accomplish. And maybe she just is not going to acknowledge you because she doesn't know how to have any intimacy. Because when you appreciate somebody else and you can see the effort they've put into something and then disregard it, you're not just saying no to them, you're saying no to yourself as well. And a lot of women are doing this. Women now have been trained to reject intimacy as if it's a weakness. Yet, real intimacy, sharing yourself, knowing what that means, and doing so takes an enormous amount of strength. When you expose yourself and your inner thoughts and feelings and behaviors to somebody in a way that you don't normally publicly, you're letting them into your private world, which means they might reject you. which means you need to be extra strong because you care about this person. You're showing them your inner core, and they might just kind of have a reaction where it's like, "Ugh, that's weird, that's dumb," or "What's wrong with you?" And you've got to know yourself well enough and appreciate yourself enough to not really care. Even people who are deeply in love and who've been together for many years, they're not always going to understand where their partner is coming from. And that's okay. Where it goes wrong is when there's a continual sense of a lack of validation and approval and appreciation, when it's ongoing on one side or both sides. And that's what you want to watch out for. So ultimately, you need to validate and appreciate yourself and your own efforts for the life that you've built for yourself. That's number one. It really is. And once you can do that, then it'll be a lot easier to find a woman who appreciates you as well, because now you'll be able to recognize it. Instead of being the guy that feels ignored and underappreciated, you're now the guy that she looks up to. Stop playing the victim. We've got enough of that going around. When you seek approval outside of yourself, it's far too easy for people to steal your thunder. And then you're feeling hurt and crushed and rejected, all because you didn't honor yourself enough and appreciate all the effort that you've put into your own life and into yourself. I hope that gives you a positive viewpoint of how you can own yourself, validate yourself, appreciate yourself, so that you can recognize when you come across a woman who sees that in you as well. And if you need any help with that, please contact me. My main website is relatorsmanual.com. There's lots more information there. My name is Dyann Bridges, and I'm happy to talk with you at any time. In the meantime, thank you for listening and have a very sensual day.